What's up, guys? We are back for another video, and as you can see, we're back to normal, and I'm very grateful for that. Very grateful for the experience in Hawaii. But look, we are back to normal. We're back to the grind, the actual grind, not the little Honolulu one. But anyways, look, we are back, and today's video, I kind of want this to be a trend moving forward, kind of like a good Saturday fun video to interact with you guys as much as I can. But today's video is going to be, based off the question that I asked a couple of days ago, which was drop a hot take for a chance to be featured in an upcoming video, and that's what today's video is going to be about. Now, I'm going to try and fit in 2 or 3 hot takes per video, and as you'll see today, well, you're gonna have to watch to see if your take ended up making the video. And this is a video, again, it's going to take a lot less time to record than a normal video, so this is going to be something I would definitely like to get into for you guys. And this is something, like I said, I would like to do 3 weekly videos, kind of like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then a Saturday kind of hot take video, and feature some subscribers' takes on the channel. And anyways, before we dive into today's, the first inaugural, your hot take, my reaction type video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel, as each only take a second to do, and it would be very much appreciated. Now let's begin. And the first hot take we have is from Rahul Talk Sports. And Rahul, I see you a lot of the time on the second channel in the comments, so I do appreciate every comment you leave, my man. But the first take is that Rahul says the Rams will finish 15-2, Matt Stafford will win unanimous MVP, and Aaron Donald will have 20 sacks. So, first things first, that is by every definition a hot take. Now, what I want to clarify before we really dive into this one specifically is a hot take is a take a little spicier than the normal and not flat out outlandishly stupid. Now, a hot take would be saying Kirk is a top, 8 or 9 quarterback, and, outlandishly dumb would say Kirk Cousins is the best quarterback in the NFL, period, when he's obviously not. There's a big difference, and I just wanted to clarify that. So, the Rams finishing 15-2 after making the divisional round and upgrading at quarterback, I don't want to say it's completely out of the question, but it's a definitive possibility. Now, to say it's going to happen is something else, and I obviously do not think it's going to happen, as in a division that tough with 3 other playoff caliber teams, especially with Russell Wilson and the 49ers defense, and of course Kyler Murray, I don't think the Rams will finish 15-2, given those are 6 of the Rams' 17 games. And by the way, they have to go to Baltimore for a 7th, so I do think they're going to lose more than 2 games just between those 7. Now, which is another question, but for the sake of this video, I do think they'll probably lose at least 3 out of the 7, eliminating Rahul's possibility of them going 15-2 to begin with. Now, Matt Stafford winning unanimous MVP is certainly a hot take, because as we all know, and the consensus is that Stafford has not had a lot of help with him through 11 years of his career, all in the Motor City leading up to now. So that's a fact. Matt Stafford has, aside from Calvin Johnson, and then after those 2 and Ndamukong Suh, the teams were mostly, made up of just not good NFL players, and there's a reason Matt Stafford only has a few playoff appearances in his career, right? But to suggest Stafford will go from winning 5, 6, 7 games, whatever Detroit won this past year, to 15-2 with the 17-game schedule in a much harder division, for me, is a little tall to believe, and I don't think that will happen. And the unanimous MVP with other players in the NFL, like Patrick Mahomes, like Aaron Rodgers, who, by the way, just threw 48 touchdowns to 5 interceptions at 37 years old. For me, again, it's tough to believe, and the least surprising part about this, or the least hard part for this, would be Aaron Donald having 20 sacks. Do I think he will have 20? No, because that's extremely tough for anybody to have, let alone a defensive tackle, and by the way, especially with Aaron getting double and triple teamed a lot of the time. So I don't think any of those 3 will happen, but I'd also want to say it's not entirely out of the realm of possibilities. The only one I truly don't see happening is Stafford winning unanimous MVP, because with the 17-game schedule and him being a 12-year veteran, it would require him to do a lot of things he hasn't done yet, which again would be like 15 or 16 wins, and then on top of it having 50 to 55 touchdown passes with the added 17th game. So the next hot take is from Henry Teddy, and it is that the Saints will win the NFC South again despite the Buccaneers' success. And what a lot of people either, I don't want to say may not realize, but what a lot of people just maybe don't realize is the Bucs did not win the NFC South last year, and they had to take the ultimate hard course, road to the Super Bowl to get to Tampa and to get to Super Bowl 55 to play the Patrick Mahomes-led Chiefs. They had to win 3 straight road playoff games to get there, and one of those games were in New Orleans, and we all know, obviously, with the Bucs winning the Super Bowl, how that happened, and what ended up being Drew Brees' final game. So, I'm going to be honest, I don't think that's that hot of a take. Now, Tampa, as we know, they struggled a little bit last year. From the, the stretch in November area into December, they were generally a struggle struggling football team, and they weren't this unbeatable Super Bowl champion team the whole entire season, as obviously they did not go 19-0, and there's a reason that they lost some games, that they had a cold stretch during that, and including what was a 38-3 embarrassment caused by the New Orleans Saints on Sunday Night Football. So what I do want to say heading into 2021 is, obviously we know the Bucs are getting all 22 starters back, but this team is not some unbeatable force that is, just cancel the 2021 season now and we'll just crown the Bucs. It's not like that. But Henry, to answer this take, I disagree, because I do think the Bucs are going to win the division, and I'm not the biggest fan of the Saints roster. They also lost Trey Hendrickson, pass rusher, to the Cincinnati Bengals this year, and for Taysom Hill to come in with his 4-year, $140 million contract, granted he probably won't receive even close to half of that, for him to come in and lead them to a division title, or even if it's Jameis, I don't think either one of them are going to, for a full 17-game season, lead the Saints to more wins than what Tom Brady will lead the Bucs to. So to answer that question, I disagree with that hot take, though I do think that is a very good hot take for, the segment of today's video, which is hot takes. The second to last take we're going to react to in today's video is from Gabriel Fluellen, that basically says the Jags are going to win the AFC South, beating out the Tennessee Titans, and the Miami Dolphins and Steelers will be the remaining wildcard team. So, Gabriel, to first address this, I'm going to be honest, I think there is a 0% chance the Jags win the division this year, and that is largely due to the Titans, of course, and I think the Colts are going to be good. Now, the Texans, if they win the AFC South, then I really don't know what to say. It would be shocking, to say the least. But so I'm not even going to acknowledge really the Texans other than that part. But anyway, the Titans and Colts, I think, are much better teams than the Jags, and that's not a hot take by saying that. Both teams went to the playoffs last year. The Titans went to the AFC Championship game in 2019, and the Colts nearly beat the Bills in Buffalo in 2020. So both of those teams are much better than the Jags, and the Jags went 1-15 last year. And aside from adding Trevor, I'm going to be honest, I wasn't a big fan of what they did. Aside from that, I wasn't really like, you know what, the Jags killed this offseason. I really did not like the pick of ETN at 25, given that James Robinson, had 1,400 total yards last year, and I'm fully aware of how they're using him in camp so far, with that he's been mainly a receiving back. And what I'm going to say to that is, why would you spend a first-round pick on a receiving back? That's not something I agree with, but if he turns out good, then they prove me wrong, good for him, right? That's how every take that I have is. If they prove me wrong, good for them. But to answer this take, there's no way the Jags win the division. I would be extremely shocked, and that's not to say Trevor will be a bust or Trevor's going to be a bad player. I just think that to go from 1-15 to, 11-6, 12-5 is probably what it would take in that division to win the division, is a lot taller of a task than I think they're able to handle in 2021. Now, could they win it next year? Again, depends how the Titans do this year. I don't know if they're ready to overthrow the Titans next year, but I think 2023 is probably the earliest they're ready to win the division. And that, again, does not fall solely on Trevor Lawrence's shoulders, as there's a lot more in the team than just one player. The final hot take for today's video is the Chiefs. This is from Joe. The Chiefs will suffer a Super Bowl hangover and go 9-8 in the first 17-game season. So, Joe, I'm going to be honest. The Chiefs are very talented, and the only way I see them going 9-8, to make this rather a short answer, is if Patrick Mahomes goes down. I don't think Patrick Mahomes starts all 17 games and loses nearly half of them. He does not have many losses in his career for a reason, and there's a reason that the media hypes him up as much as they do, because he has 2 postseason losses, and both are by Tom Brady. And for any quarterback to go through their entire career, granted his is only 3 years of actual play, 4 with the rookie, but anyway, through 3 seasons of playing, 2 of them losing to Tom Brady, I'm going to be honest, there is no shame in that. There is no shame in Patrick losing. And by the way, both of those teams that Patrick lost to were either the champions or the eventual Super Bowl champions. So there's no shame in that. And for a player that just does not trip up and just lose stupid games here and there, the Chiefs don't do that. You don't just see them go into Jacksonville, for lack of a better team, you don't see them go into just a bad team stadium and just stink one up and just lose it. And if they do, it is very, very few and far between. And that's the reason why they are so good. They take care of business, they do what they got to do, and they get out. And for them to go 9-8, I don't see it personally at all. And anyways, that is going to wrap up today's video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. We are back in the original setup. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any hot takes, let me know and I'll react. And anyways, until next time, have a great day. Love you guys. Deuces. Peace.